You and your childhood friend turned sworn enemy had been fighting since you were kids. Back then, she was stronger because she grew up faster, so she dragged you to her house and forced you to wear a pink dress for photos. Later, once you could fight back, you started stealing her snacks and sneaking sips of her milk tea. Then one day, you accidentally heard she had found a boyfriend, so to avoid losing, you got yourself a girlfriend too. But when you smugly called her to show off, the other end went silent for a long time. Hee-chang, it's been 7 years and you still can't forget her, but it's fine, we're already married, you can't run now and regret won't help. After hearing that, everything went black. When you opened your eyes again, you were lying in a strange room. And beside you was a stunning woman. You froze on the spot like you'd been struck by lightning. Wasn't this Bai Ningbing, your childhood friend turned sworn enemy? How did you end up doing this with her? Weren't you just confessing to Liu Ruyan in the cafeteria? How did you suddenly end up in the same bed with Bai Ningbing? This had to be Bai Ningbing's revenge scheme. She had thrown away even her own dignity just to get back at you. Holding back your anger, you sat up and quickly grabbed the clothes by the bed to put them on. Seeing this, Bai Ningbing struggled to sit up, pulled the blanket over herself, and asked in confusion, "What's wrong?" After getting dressed, you glared at her angrily and snapped, "Bai Ningbing, you're shameless. Just to get back at me, you tricked me into bed. I only put a snake in your desk cubby. Was it really that serious?" Hearing that, Bai Ningbing laughed instead of getting angry. "Is your brain fried? You were so mad you almost choked, then finally gave in. You're still playing dumb, huh? Fine, you win. You've successfully disgusted me. I won't mess with you again. From now on, we're even. You go your way and I'll go mine." You turned to leave, but Bai Ningbing grabbed your wrist. Her voice was anxious. "It's so late. Where are you going? Are you still going to find Liu Ruyan?" You shook off her hand in disgust and said with a laugh, "Yeah, I'm going to find her. I'm chasing her. You knew that, didn't you?" Bai Ningbing's face darkened instantly, and her chest rose and fell slightly. "Wow, now you can't even bother making excuses, so you're just admitting it? We've been married for years. What exactly am I to you?" Hearing that, your brain crashed again and you asked in disbelief, "What? You're saying you and I are already married?" Bai Ningbing rolled her eyes. "What else? Wait, let me process this. You couldn't accept this bizarre series of events. You should have been confessing to Liu Ruyan in the cafeteria, but then you woke up in Bai Ningbing's bed. Then Bai Ningbing said you two were already married, but you had absolutely no memory of it. Only after studying Bai Ningbing carefully did you realize she really looked much more mature than the version you remembered. Suddenly thinking of something, you widened your eyes and asked, "What year is it?" Bai Ningbing sneered. 2026. You instantly gasped. This was 7 years later. You had gone straight from 18 to 25. Did you travel through time? The massive amount of information was impossible to accept. You muttered, "I'm going to wash my face," and rushed out of the bedroom. But when you opened the door, you realized you were inside a luxury villa. That meant you had not only married Bai Ningbing, but were also living in her mansion. And after marriage, you were still tangled up with Liu Ruyan. The more you thought about it, the crazier it seemed. With Bai Ningbing's personality, how had she not divorced you after your betrayal? None of this made sense. Just as you wondered if it was all a dream, you hurried downstairs to wash up and clear your head. But the moment you reached the living room, you saw a 6 or 7-year-old girl in cartoon pajamas rummaging through the fridge. When she heard your footsteps, she panicked, slammed the fridge shut, and looked at you nervously. "Daddy, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to wake you up. I was just too hot and wanted some ice cream. Please don't be mad at Sui Sui, okay?" That one word, "daddy," left you stunned all over again. "What did you call me?" The little girl nervously gripped the hem of her clothes, her watery eyes filled with confusion and fear, then asked timidly, "Daddy, don't you recognize Sui Sui?" You looked her over carefully. The little girl was as pretty as a doll. Her nose and mouth looked like yours, but her eyes looked exactly like Bai Ningbing's. Then you noticed the huge wedding photo of you and Bai Ningbing hanging on the wall behind her. It was over. All of this was real. You really had traveled 7 years into the future, and you even had a daughter. But before you could process it, Sui Sui was already shaking with fear, tears welling in her eyes. She pleaded in a trembling voice, "Daddy, Sui Sui really knows she was wrong. Please don't punish Sui Sui, okay?" You swallowed hard, forced a smile, and gently comforted her. "Sui Sui, Daddy won't punish you. Don't be scared, okay?" But Sui Sui froze for 2 seconds, then burst into tears. You went numb instantly, standing there helplessly, wondering what kind of father you had been for the past 7 years. Bai Ningbing rushed over after hearing the crying and had the nanny take Sui Sui back to her room. Then she turned around, pointed at you, and snapped furiously, "Hee-chang, I'm warning you. If you dare bully Sui Sui again, I'll have you thrown in jail. I know you resent me and I can ignore your cheating, but Sui Sui is your own daughter. How could you take your anger out on a child?" Hearing that, your eyes widened in shock. Sure, you had never liked Bai Ningbing, but you didn't hate her either. Was your future self really this awful? Looking into her furious eyes, you cautiously asked in a soft voice, "What if I told you my memory stopped when I was 18? Would you believe me?" Bai Ningbing sneered and looked at you meaningfully. "So you mean your 18-year-old soul jumped into your 25-year-old body, and that's why you don't remember anything from the past 7 years? Your eyes lit up and you quickly nodded. "Yes, exactly, that's exactly it." "Exactly my foot." Bai Ningbing raised her hand and smacked your forehead hard. "You're putting on an act just to make me let you and Liu Ruyan be together, aren't you? Don't think I'll buy your acting just because you were an actor for a few years." Hearing this, you were stunned again. An actor? Your future self had actually become an actor and fulfilled your old dream. But what did she mean by for a few years? Did that mean you weren't acting anymore? Your head was full of questions, but seeing that she was still furious, you decided to calm her down first. Okay, you don't believe me. Go get some rest. It's late and staying up isn't good for you. Hearing that, Binding Bing froze, her eyes full of suspicion. After all, in 7 years of marriage, you had never shown her kindness, much less concern. She said angrily, "Don't think a couple of caring words will make me lower my guard. If you dare bully Sui, I'll send you to jail. Watch yourself." After saying that, she turned and hurried upstairs, slamming the door shut with a loud bang. With things already like this, you collapsed onto the couch and took out your phone to search online. Sure enough, you had once been an A-list actor. You had starred in many hit dramas, but 3 years ago, you suddenly left the industry and started a company instead. And the first artist signed under your company was actually Liu Ruyan. It seems she was deeply tied to you not only romantically, but also professionally. She must know what had happened over the past few years, so you quickly found her number and called her right away. But the phone only played a message saying no one was available to answer. You frowned slightly and checked the chat history. After reading it carefully, you went numb again. How had 7 years passed and turned you into a total simp, chasing someone who couldn't care less? No, absolutely not. There had to be more to this. You decided to go to the company tomorrow and figure things out properly. The next morning, you followed the GPS to your own company. As soon as you entered the building, everyone politely greeted you. "Good morning, Mr. He." You smiled and nodded in response. Inside, you were secretly thrilled. You had jumped from a high school student straight to a CEO. It looked like you had at least done something serious in these 7 years. After getting out of the elevator, you headed straight to the CEO's office and pulled up the company's financial reports to see how much you had made over the past 3 years. But the result